Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry.
Yeah.
Tom Brady once again stokes rumors about coming out of retirement. On one of his recent blogs on YouTube, he says he still keeps in shape. I just want to make sure all you young bucks in the NFL know that if I want to come out of retirement, they still got something to deal with. Brady just turned 47. He retired after the 2022 season, and he has not played a game since January 16th of 2023. Ocho, why Brady keep doing this?
I don't know. I think he like it. I think he like it, or he might be setting it up for some big. I don't think it's a return to the game of football, but I mean, he's already going to anchor the CBS Fox network, right? Oh, Fox is Fox. Okay,
number one team.
He's going to be anchor on Fox. So him coming back is probably not likely, but he might be setting up for something else. He just planting the seed. I'm not sure what the seed may be, but obviously playing football is not it.
Why would you give up $37 million? He got a 10-year deal damn near at $400 million to talk.
Yeah.
You get to, I don't give a damn if he comes back and plays another 5 years.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you what my brother told me when I thought about coming back for year 15 instead of taking that desk job at CBS.
Right.
He said, boy, you get too old to play football. You don't get too old to talk.
I like that.
So let me ask you a question, Ocho. And one of the things that I had to decide, if I won another Super Bowl, was that going to change anybody's perception of me? No. If I had another 1,000-yard season, another 50-catch season? No.
No, sir.
What can Tom Brady do to change anybody's perception of him?
Absolutely nothing except change the narrative about being too old to play the game of football at the quarterback position. That's probably it. That narrative that it can still be done, or probably he's one of the few that can probably do it well into his 40s, almost to the age of 50. And I mean, it doesn't change the narrative at all. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time, with a young fella down there in Kansas City right on his heels. That's pretty much it.
I just think that, there are going to be a lot of guys that's going to play if they don't suffer significant injury. You're going to see a lot of guys playing 18, 19, 20 seasons. The rules will allow it.
Yeah.
You can't punish the quarterback like you once could. And if you could, man, they get sawed in half. You don't want to take that kind of punishment, Ocho. So, look, I just think he's having fun with it. I think Tom, from time to time, like, y'all know me. Y'all know I can still do this, right?
Yeah. And
go ahead.
This is the thing I like about the new Tom. I call it the new Tom because the Tom in New England is the Tom in New England is the serious Tom. I'm about business Tom. I'm coming to my job. But the Tom we got in Tampa Bay was the side that the players got to see inside the locker room when there were no cameras around. The fun Tom, the personality Tom, the Tom that makes jokes. In New England, I tried to get him on Twitter for the longest. In New England, I tried to get him on Instagram Instagrams for the longest. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't budge. All of a sudden, he gets to Tampa, brand new man. I can finally be myself. I don't want to use the words I'm finally free, but I can just be myself without having to mask who I truly am up under the Patriot way, if that makes sense. And now we get to see the fun guy. We get to see the fun guy on Twitter. He's making content videos and having fun. And I think it's dope. Vlogging and all this other stuff. And that's a Tom that we never got to see. Well, we got to see it, that fun side of him, but the world never got to see it. And now it's a coming out party for him, and he's taking advantage of it.
I think the thing is, for the most part, Ocho, the only guy that really was himself at all times was Gronk.
Yeah.
Gronk was Gronk.
Most definitely.
Gronk was that college frat guy that drank beers, had a good time, yelled and screamed. He took care of his business off on the field. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
But he was himself. Coach Belichick wasn't able to suppress who Gronk was. The Gronk that you see, that's how he is. He's really what you see. That's how he is. Yeah. He's a big, fun-loving frat. You think of a frat guy at a PWI that drinks, have a good time, go have on khakis and a blazer when he goes somewhere. That's Gronk. But he's going to have a great time. He's a great guy. He's a fun guy to be around. And Coach Belichick wasn't able to suppress that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we got anybody else personality in New England other than Gronk. And when you got, when you got, because I think the thing is that you understood why you was there. He controlled everything. There was never a situation where I'm here because the coach wanted me, but the general manager didn't. I'm here because the general manager wanted me, but the coach didn't. Right. They're the same person. So you know you was there because of Coach Belichick. Yes, you know if you weren't there, it was because of Coach Belichick. And for the longest time, Tom was okay with that. But at some point in time, Tom realized, I'm doing all this, and you still treat me like the 23rd, the 50th, the 48th guy on the roster?
Yeah.
So why the hell am I doing all this?
Yep, towards the end,
Yes. Yeah. He's like, I'm not on Twitter. I'm not doing any of these things. And I still get the same abuse. I get the same. Hell nah. So as you notice at the time to end, he stopped coming to OTAs and he stopped doing all that that training.
I think it got to the point where Bill understood the position. He felt Tom's time had maybe run its course a little bit with the Garoppolo situation. I think Tom felt the pressure of Bill probably wanting to go in that direction. Yeah. I think Tom might have talked to Kraft and saying, you know what, I don't want this individual over my shoulder. You know how that is for starting quarterbacks.
Yes.
And I think they just had to get rid of him. And listen, I could be speculating, but I'm just thinking how it played out in my head and how it played out in front of all our eyes. That might have been the issue. And I think Tom really had nothing to worry about, but I think it was Bill. Bill was ready to go in another direction, feeling that Tom had done all he could, and not realizing, Tom leaves and goes and wins another goddamn Super Bowl. That's crazy.
That's always the fear.
In a perfect story, you couldn't write it any better. To leave a team where coach assumingly doesn't believe in you anymore and wants to move on, and you go to the next team and win a Super Bowl. And it's people like Tom Brady that make people think playing the quarterback position in the NFL is easy. Because him and Patrick Mahomes make it look so fucking easy, yet it's so difficult. They make it look so easy, but yet it's so difficult.
I think the thing was, look, the writing was on the wall. When you heard, when the Seth Wickersham wrote this article about how they came to a come to Jesus meeting, and Mr. Kraft gave Coach Belichick an ultimatum that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be traded against Coach Belichick, and he didn't want that to happen. That was his guy, because Coach Belichick had been in the NFL long enough to know that you need a bridge, that if you let a quarterback rot on the vine and you don't have a bridge, you get the Miami Dolphins. You get the Buffalo Bills. And so you don't have that succession plan, or like the Green Bay Packers. You go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love.
Now they got lucky. Think about it. What other team or entity in that matter has had the luck of the Packers with three in a row like that?
Not quarterback situation.
We can go from Joe Montana to Steve Young, but that stops at two quarterbacks.
Well, no, but Jeff Garcia had a good. Jeff Garcia was good
Jeff
for like 3 or 4 years. Ocho, Jeff was
nice now.
Good.
But I mean, not Hall of Fame. Like
not what the Packers have had. You had 18 years of Brett. You had 18 years of Aaron Rodgers, and it looks like you might have 18 years of Jordan Love. So you might have 50 plus years of great quarterback. Almost like the Steelers coaching situation. So you knew it was coming. And I said this at the time when Tom wanted an extension on his contract, and all they did was take money and give it to him in a signing bonus, and then they extend it. I say, he gone.
Yeah.
Why would you not extend him? If you wanted him, that's a golden opportunity.
Yeah.
And so now, and I remember, and I said this also, I said, Tom, Mr. Kraft won this one. He won't win the next one. Coach Belichick's going to get his way because he's not going to stop. Because the problem is that he wanted to show. See, Ocho, a lot of times when you have success and when you see successful groups break up, it's because there's a power struggle going on that if you know, if you're in the business, if you're around it, you can see it. But to the casual fan, they don't see it. No. Oh, Shannon, you don't know what you're talking about. You see, when Bill Walsh retired, They won the Super Bowl the next year.
Yeah.
So there was no, it was Bill, it was Joe. They won the Super Bowl next year, and they got to the NFC Championship. They was going for a three-peat.
Yeah.
So now there was always a question: who's most responsible for the Patriots dynasty? Is it Tom? Is it Bill?
I think it's a little bit of both.
All I know is one guy went and won a Super Bowl and went to the playoff every year, and the other guy went to the playoffs one year, got bounced in the first round, and never went back to the playoffs again.
Yeah, well, I think on Bill's behalf, you have to think the importance of the quarterback position. We all know it. Everybody in the chat that's listening, you understand how important the quarterback position is. Now, when you're not able to fulfill that spot, then you're not able to do other things with the freedom that Bill had when Tom was in place. Right. You have to understand, when you look at the New England Patriots and the landscape of that team throughout the years, the pieces to the puzzle constantly change each year, whether it be offensively, whether it be defensively. But as long as you had that centerpiece in Tom there and everything ran through him, you were going to be fine. You were going to be set. You could do any and everything because you understood you were going to protect the ball in the most crucial times and not turn it over. And all you have to do is go play defense. And what was Bill Belichick? He was a defensive genius. Yeah. He's a guru on the defensive side of the ball. And listen, they did the best job at taking away your best weapon. They were the best at that. And it's just unfortunate. I don't want to say the word. I don't want to use egos. I don't want to say egos got in the way, and it was a damn pissing contest on who was responsible. But I think it ruined a great thing. It ruined a great thing.
Of course. I think the thing is, Ocho, because you saw coordinators come and go, be it offense, defense, it didn't matter. The players and people like, well, Tom, you have to understand. Everybody can't play in that system. Every great player can't play for Coach Belichick. He took players, when he goes and drafts, they're doing an evaluation about ego. Is this guy going to be okay catching one pass, two passes 1 week, and then maybe not catch another pass for 2 or 3 weeks? And so you have to evaluate that, because the one thing that you're not going to do is mope on Coach Belichick's time. Oh, no. He's going to get you up out of there. So you have to understand. You have to, if you like I said, Ocho, if you and I played the game for an extended period of time, so we know how that things work. And I had a coach very similar. Now he wasn't as rigid. Mike was not as rigid as Coach Belichick, but Mike wasn't gonna settle for that. I don't care what round you was drafted in. I don't care how much money he gave you. Mike would get your ass up out of there. Quick. If you did anything that wasn't team related.
Yeah. And matter of fact, the fact that you say that, remember you asked me not too long ago, maybe 2 or 3 shows ago, you asked me, was I okay with how things were going in New England, being that it wasn't a productive season that I'm used to having? You look at my goddamn numbers every year, you already know what time it was. I was giving that work. And he was like, listen, whether I was okay with it or not, I understood once you walk in that building, nobody even has to say anything, Unc. I don't know what it is about the Patriots and the Patriot way, and you having a great understanding that you're expendable, no matter who you are. Small example. Chad,
you saw it happen, Ocho. Hey, look at all the great players that they had. They cut Lawyer Malloy on a Tuesday. Ty Law left. Willie McGinnis left. All those guys. Vince Wolf. It didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Richard Seymour.
But let me tell you something. When you can do all that? When you got that goddamn 12 sitting back there and you ain't got nothing to worry about, because you can fill all the other roles via draft and in the offseason through free agency. But then think about this. One of the reasons why I probably would have never, even if I didn't have this example or saw this example, Randy Moss was upset about something. I think it might have been contract, it might have been money. He was just coming off that season.
What they do?
Touchdowns. And he had,
what they do?
And he said something in the media about contract. About getting paid. You remember that?
I do remember. And he went back to Minnesota.
He was gone, what? It wasn't even 24 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Boy, listen. You already know what time it is. So you know I wasn't going over there cutting up. Oh, on who? Yes. You let one of the greatest of all, one of the top 3 players of all time go? Well, who the fuck am I? I ain't nobody. Shit, I was walking on eggshells the whole time.
Well, the thing was, Ocho, they should sell Tom Brady at Alta Sephora, because he's the greatest. He's the greatest makeup ever, because he can cover up all blemishes that the Patriots had because he was so good. So he's makeup, and there only been a handful of guys. You get a guy like Patrick Mahomes
that can do that.
He's makeup. Tom Brady, he's makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys like that, you got blemishes on your team, they can hide them.
Yeah.
They're the filter on IG, make everything look good. and lo and behold, you
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You fat, you out of shape, you terrible. But that guy can make you look good.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady is the ultimate makeup. And we might not ever see that again. Now, Patrick Mahomes is firing.
Yeah.
But what Tom was able to do, I thought when he got to 3 in his first 3 or 4 years, I thought he could get to 5. I ain't see that. I ain't see 7. And I didn't see them constantly in contention. I mean, think about it. He lost to Peyton 3 times in the AFC Championship game. Yeah. He lost to Eli twice. That's another 5 appearances. That's another 5. Could have been 3.
That's crazy. When you think about it. We talk about this. We talk about the NFL. We talk about players that have played, the Dan Marinos, the Barry Sanders, hell, myself, T.O. I'm thinking about all the great players that have played this game for who knows how long. Never had the opportunity of playing in the Super Bowl. Or if you did play in the Super Bowl, you only played once. And then you got Tom, you got Mahomes going back over and over and over like he playing a goddamn game of Madden. Shit, Bill and goddamn Tom Brady done been what, 10 times?
10 times.
10 times? This is real life. This is not a video game. Do you know how difficult it is?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do.
To the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah.
Or every 2 or every 3 or whatever it may be. They make it look so easy when the game is very difficult. To the point, I see why people question the game of football being rigged, the NFL being rigged, because they make it look so goddamn easy. But I swear for God, for those of you in the chat that watch the game of football and think, oh, this is gonna happen, or oh, this is staged, or trust me, it's not. You can't do it. Those individuals are just that good. I swear. Yeah, I saw it in person for a whole year.
So, look, that's his legacy if he wants to come back. But the last thing you want to see is a guy that hangs on too long. We saw Johnny Unitas. We saw Joe Namath. We saw Willie Mays staggering in the outfield, rest his soul. We've seen some of our great players play a little bit longer than what they should. That's their career. That's theirs. You know, if whatever you choose to do, hey, when you've been a great player, if you want to go out on your term, if you want to go out like that, so be it. I'm not here to judge you. But Tom, I look at Tom like a Coach K, like a Dean Smith, like a Pat Head Summit. Unless he did something so egregious that is just unforgivable.
Right.
You let him go out when he wants to go out. That's what they did for Coach K. That's what they did for Coach Smith. That's what they did for Coach Summit. That's what they do for the greats. Coach Wooden. I believe Tom is so great of a player. He's been so great to that organization. He's been so great to the city of Boston and the surrounding areas. You let him go out on his own. You're like, Tom, how long you want to play, Tom? I'm serious, Ocho.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
I mean,
listen, if he was to come back, I don't think it would be the Patriots. I don't think it would be. And the funny thing about it,
no, he's done with there.
Huh? Yeah. And the funny thing you said about, the deal with Fox and $37 million or whatever it may be. You know what? Fox ain't going nowhere.
No.
Fox ain't going nowhere. Fox is going to always be there. Being able to talk and be in that booth and be in that broadcast, be in that booth doing football games and commentating and breaking down games, that's going to always be there. But at 47, if I want to fulfill that childhood dream and that urge to play and compete one more time, I mean, there's an opportunity and chance for him to do it because he is the one person that can do it at 47.